critical. It's best that you be easy. The end gon' be biblical. Look, flow like a river. It's something like a miracle. Royalty in my veins, loyalty in my ways, payback in every breath, plus revenge in my heart. The truth in every word. Bring light into the dark, and I ain't never lukewarm. Shit, I blazing in the season. Got plenty food for thought. Just gotta watch who I'm feeding. Now been walking with them angels, so I guess I got this pistol for no reason. Niggas barely breathing, criticizing all my achievements. Won't make me weak. Nah, it won't make me slack off. These niggas baby fat soft, better bear witness or back off. I be ripping shit like sackcloth. Dumb dogs all barked out. Behind me say I cup full, no room for emotion, so I pour my heart out. This road hard, but I intend to stay. And if it ain't UPK, then they in the way. My niggas righteous, they real, they down to suffer. Flow so deep, they drown a motherfucker. He say he in the truth, oh yeah? Well, this the home. And I don't hate them brothers, I'm just too loyal to my own. Plus what they believe, hard for me to follow. No rank me, no head, and I ain't leaving this body to live and sleep in hollow. So when they ask I'm UPK, you tell them absolutely. And I ain't trimming my ways for nothing, gotta execute me. Cause I can never die with my tail tucked between my legs. Shit I be thinking, watching my daughters tucked in their bed. They so smart, and Alana, she's so beautiful, but they ain't like other babies, and they daddy far from usual. Now I'm missing cause I'm about my father's business. It ain't about this shit I used to do in that 98 Navy, the tan leather seats. See, without wisdom, this world make you weak. I found out that the truth was bitter, the lies are sweet. Tried everything, I guess me and Johanna had to meet. Now I make the blind see, and I make the dead speak, and teach both my little girls the day that they lie with a man, they better bring their bloody bed sheets. Chaos match the time, this Glock match my handpiece, and I ain't trying to take him out, but I will defend this house or take a check. 144 in that black trench on some hitman shit. Shit call me 47. Praying for Armageddon. Me and my soldiers dressed for the wedding. Fuck the fame. Ask why, tell them I'm loyal to the king. Until the righteous reign. Loyal to the king. I walk that straight lane to break the chain. Loyal to the king. The devils can't have me, bitch. I'm loyal to the king. That's right. Bring that hot flame, UPK. Loyal to the king. Until the righteous reign. Loyal to the king. I walk that straight lane to break the chain. Loyal to the king. The devils can't have me, bitch. I'm loyal to the king. Bring that hot flame, UPK. Loyal to the king.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School and Universal and Practical Knowledge. It's on 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding Junior Yana. Since 1969, we've been teaching so-called Black, Hispanics, Native Americans the truth according to the Bible, and that they are the Israelites of the Bible. They are the children of Israel, God's chosen people. And for today's class, man, we're going to get into that God is with the underdog. Right now, you see in America that Black, Hispanics, Native Americans, we're the fewest, but yet the Lord is with us. So yet we are the strongest. We think that we don't want to fight. We think that we have no hope because we look at us as numbers. Everything in the world teaches us to look at numbers. How much you rich based on how much money you got. How much money is in your bank account. The strongest armies are the ones who got the most numbers. The best churches are the ones who got the most numbers. That's what the world teaches. The world teaches you are strong by how many numbers, how many followers you have. Well, Christ had a movement, and he only had 12 people following him at that time. And yeah, it was the strongest thing. It was the strongest thing to this day. So how come we are being taught the wrong things when God's with us? The reason why the world teaches you that numbers mean strength is because they don't have God on their side. Us Black, Hispanics, Native Americans, when we do right, when we follow law, statutes, commandments, we have the Most High God with us, the creator of heaven and earth. And that's why we don't need numbers. We don't need numbers when we follow after him, because he's going to be with the few that choose to follow him the correct way. And he's going to reward them for following him. And he's not going to let his name be mocked in the earth. He's not going to let the people who serve him be mocked. And that's why right now when we don't serve him, we get consumed around by these beasts of the field, these other nations around us. We get consumed by them because God's not with us. Because if he did help us out when we didn't want to serve him, we would be mocking God. We'll be mocking God, but since we don't want to serve him, he can't help us. He can't. But if we did follow him, he's going to help us, because you're not going to just kill my people for doing right. You're not going to do that. I'm going to be with you if you do what I tell you to do, just like any good father. And that's why we got to understand, as a father relationship, father-child relationship, you are not above the Most High. You don't make the plans. You don't make the rules. You go by his will, what he wants to do, right? And for that reason, we finna get into our first scripture to show that the Most High is not dealing with a lot of numbers. He's not dealing with a lot of numbers, right? We're gonna get Deuteronomy chapter 7. You got it, sir? The water, sir. We're gonna get to the scripture to let you know that we're gonna start off with this scripture to show you why the Most High chose you in the beginning. Most High never chose you because you think you was strong, you was big and bad. That's not why you was chosen people. It's actually the opposite. Because why? The Lord loves the underdog. The Lord loves the people that nobody else loves. And that's why Black, Hispanics, Native Americans are his chosen people. You got that, sir? 7 and 6.
Oh, yeah. I got you. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Holy meaning separate, Kodash meaning separate. We are separate unto the Lord, man. He have us set apart than everybody else. We have a little place in his heart for us, right? Keep going, sir.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Right.
Above all people.
No, some people.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
He chose Black, Hispanics, Native Americans to be above every single nation above the earth, on the earth. You know why? Because the Most High is a racist. Right. The Most High has a special type of people, and that's why we don't disagree. We don't disagree when the white man want to be racist, when the Arabs want to be racist, the Chinese people want to be racist. Be racist. Just leave us alone when we're trying to be racist. That's all we ask for. Keep going.
Salaki.
7, verse 7, Salaki.
Verse 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people. For ye were the fewest of all people.
He didn't choose us because we were so mighty and strong. He chose us because we was the fewest of all people, man.
Right.
He chose the underdog from the gate.
Right.
And that's an important lesson that you got to understand, because the Lord, the God of heaven and earth, he loves the underdog.
Right.
He loves the people who's less desired. You know, we don't, and it's the contrary to popular belief, Israel is the youngest nation.
Right, that's right.
And we don't disagree when you saying there was nations before us. We understand that. We was the youngest nation. Youngest and smallest nation, but yeah, the Lord chose us, and that's what we boast about.
Right.
We don't battle what you had built before we had built. We battle that the Most High is dealing with us and only us, and that we are the heirs to the planet Earth. That's what we debate about. That's what we battle. That God's not dealing with you, and God's only dealing with us. And one thing we gotta understand is God loves the few. God, like to other religions. I'm not gonna say other religions because it's not a religion, but to other people's beliefs, right? And their false ideologies and they false religions they done put up, right? Their gods are whores. You know why? Because they allow everybody come as you are, right? Our God does not. First, our God got to understand that our God says you got to be a Black, Hispanic, Native American. That's who my people is. That's who my chosen people is, right? Now, on top of that, you gotta do what God requires of you if you're a Black, Hispanic, Native American. You gotta do something that a lot of people don't want to do, and that's follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Why? Because they want to fulfill their lusts. That's why. And most of people just want to die because they can't control themselves They can't control them picking their lust and not worrying about the consequences going to have.
Right.
We only worry about right now. We ain't worried about what that cigarette's going to do 10 years later. We're not going to know. We don't care about what that abortion going to do to my body 5 years later when I try to have another child. No, you're not going to worry about how that drug's going to affect your system.
Right.
You're not worried about that. So for our guy, he worries about that. Why? Because we're his children. Just like in the world, when your parent tells you, when you go out in the world, you represent me.
Right.
You represent my household. And that's what the Lord has for us. Right now, we should have shame on our face because we are making the Most High God look bad.
That's right.
We're making him look bad, and instead of changing our life, instead of changing life like he wants us to do, we choose to go follow with other people. Mm-hmm. And that's what we do. And that's why everybody want a rulership. Everybody looks at us and be like, man, this is the people you want to rule. And everybody's fighting for that spot. Everybody want to be on top. The Lord telling you all you got to do is change your life for that spot because I'm with you and you my chosen people.
Right.
I'm the God of heaven and earth. I control all this. I'm the creator of everything. And I set you apart, man. All you got to do is just follow what I say, right? Now we finna get into how the most. That's how God was always with the underdog too. A lot of biblical stories that everybody want to talk about, but he never talk about the root of the story. What it shows, how important it is that you should learn from, right? We're gonna start off with if I could, sir, let me get a book of Judges chapter 6, verse start at 1. Let's see, start at 1.
Come on. All right. Mm-hmm. This is the book of Judges, chapter 6, verse 1.
All right, and this is the book of Judges. This is before Israel had kings, established kings. We was ruled over by judges. They would judge matters, right? Keep going, sir. Papa Shah.
On this way. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord. And the Lord delivered them into the hand of Midian 7 years.
Like right now, you see the same thing happening with America. We did wickedness in front of the Lord, then evil, and he delivered us into the hands of another nation. Just like in Deuteronomy chapter 28 say. That's what happens. Why? Because the Lord can't be with us if we disrespecting him.
That's right.
That's what happened. He wouldn't be righteous for that. The Lord wouldn't be righteous. He wouldn't be a God word servant. He would be the Lord would be a female dog if he allows us to disrespect him and still fight for us. But the Lord's not that. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is a man. That's that spirit you have on, that masculine spirit. That spirit's from the Lord. The Lord got that spirit, a masculine man. You're not going to disobey me. The creation is not going to disrespect the creator and want me to come and help you. Nah, go ahead and believe and go get delivered to the things you want to get delivered into.
Right.
You want to be with other nations. Go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. Go ahead, and that's what the Lord did. Go ahead. You want to be with them? Go ahead. You get delivered in the hands of them. I'm gonna show you what you've been fighting so hard to be with. What I try to protect you from. All right? Keep reading.
Come on. Verse 2. And the hand of Midian prevailed against Israel. And because of the Midianites, the children of Israel made them the dens which are in the mountains and caves and strongholds.
Right. So because of Midian, man, the children of Israel had to go hide. They got to go hide how the wickedness these people was doing unto them. The crimes they were doing unto them. They had to go hide, man. Keep reading.
Verse 3. And so it was when Israel had sown that the Midianites came up, and the Amalekites and the children of the east, even they came up against them, and they encamped against them and destroyed the increase of the earth, till thou come unto Gaza, and left no sustenance for Israel, neither sheep nor ox nor ass.
Right, so they used to come down this raid their land, take everything they done sold, they would come and reap it. All their animals, right? Their sheep, their oxen, their ass, that's what they came and they took all their stuff.
Right.
You done worked hard for us. You done raised this sheep up to kill it, to enjoy it, you put this harvest down. As soon as the harvest finna come up, here come them, come and take it from you.
Right.
It was going through hell. Just like in America. Whatever we put our hands on, somebody got to come and take it from us. We build these houses, somebody's going to take these houses. That's what we do. We work so hard for somebody just to come and take it from us. Take what we've been built. We make good cities. They come and raid us out the cities and take them cities.
Right. That's right.
That's what they do. Keep reading.
Verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
For they came up with their cattle
mm-hmm.
and their tents, and they came as grasshoppers for multitude.
Mm-hmm.
For both they and their camels were without number.
Without number, meaning so many you can't even count.
That's right.
There's so many of these people. How come there's a strong people coming at me? I can't do nothing.
Right.
Look how strong these people. I can't even count how many people they got. I can't even count how many cattle they got, man. It says grasshoppers for a multitude. Like you know how the swarms of locusts come. That's how they was coming at them. They said I can't do nothing about this. They are so strong because they got so many people. Right.
Right.
Keep going, sir.
Come on. And they entered into the land to destroy it.
Right.
And Israel was greatly impoverished because of the Midianites.
Right.
And the children of Israel cried unto the Lord.
Now they crying unto the Lord. Why are they crying unto the Lord? Because they realized what they really wanted was a mistake. They realized that disobeying their God made their hell come.
Right.
Their lowest state. That these people, they couldn't escape these people because they were so strong and had so many numbers until they got to go crying to God.
That's right.
Now ask God for help. Now let's see what God requires from them. You're just not going to disobey me. And all you got to do is come and pray about it.
Right.
You can't just disrespect me and pray about it, act like I'm going to change your life. Mm-hmm. Keep reading, sir.
And it came to pass when the children of Israel cried unto the Lord because of the Midianites, that the Lord sent a prophet unto the children of Israel, which said unto them, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, I brought you up out from Egypt, and brought you forth out of the hand of bondage.
And let me tell you something, man. Like all the times when we was in captivity, the Lord always sent his prophets to come and save the people, to come warn the people.
Right.
But the crazy part about it is the people always wanted God to give them sign or save them out of their captivity, but they never listened to the prophets.
That's right.
They never did. And that's why Christ said in the New Testament, Christ said that you're not going to get a sign, only the sign of the prophet Jonah.
Right.
Jonah went and prophesied to the Israelites in Nineveh. And that's a sign that America got right now. But you see how America reacting to that sign. You see us on camp prophesying and speaking against the oppression that we are going through, but yet they will still rather this Christ come to them in a dream.
That's right.
That's the sign you've been looking for. That we have camp at 6 and Netches. You've been asking God for a sign, and that day you chose to walk by us on Friday. That was your sign, and you neglected it. Can you read this, sir?
Verse 10. And I said unto you, I am the Lord your God. Fear not the gods of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell, but ye have not obeyed my voice.
He said, but you have not obeyed my voice. Don't fear them. What he's saying, don't fear them. You should be fearing me. The only reason you fearing these people, but the only reason this is happening is because you disobeyed me.
Right.
Such a backwards people we are. God give you the secret. Hey, this is happening because you disobeyed me.
Right.
If you was following me, this will never happen. Right? Keep reading, sir.
Verse 11. And there came an angel of the Lord and sat under an oak, which was in Ophrah, that pertained unto Joash, the Abiezrite, and his son Gideon threshed wheat by the winepress to hide it from the Midianites.
Right. So Gideon was on there. Gideon, right? He was the 5th judge, not at the time, but he would become the 5th judge, right?
Right.
So he at the time he's like, man, he's trying to eat. He tired of these people taking his food and stuff. So what he got to do? He got to go here up and let me hide this before they come.
Right.
That's what the angel of the Lord appeared unto him. Now look what the angel just said, right? Verse 12, sir.
Verse 12. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him and said unto him, The Lord is with thee, thou mighty man of valor. And Gideon said unto him, O my Lord, if the Lord be with us, why then is all this befallen us? And where be all his miracles? which our father told us of, saying, did not the Lord bring us from Egypt? But now the Lord hath forsaken us and delivered us into the hands of the Midianites.
Right, just like a son would. Like you and your brothers been doing bad, and you gonna be like, where you was at? Where was you at? Right? And your father come, he's like, man, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. He's like, man, you come as a son, you like, but what happened to all this other stuff? What was that mercy at that you had? Right? Now keep reading verse 14.
Come on, verse 14. And the Lord looked upon him and said, Go in this thy might, and thou shalt have Israel from the hand of the Midianites.
Right.
Have not I sent thee?
Right.
And he said unto him, O my Lord, wherewith shall I save Israel? Behold, my family is poor in Manasseh, and I am in the least in my family's house.
And he said,
my father's house.
You see that? He's like, why me? How can I save Israel when I'm the poor in Manasseh? I'm poor, and I'm the least in my father's house. I'm not even the strongest in my father's house. You coming to me?
Right.
Why? Because God loves an underdog.
That's right.
God is with the underdog.
That's right.
You're going to see why God is with the underdog later. Let me see. Keep going, sir.
Come on. Verse 16. And the Lord said unto him, Surely I will be with thee, and thou shalt smite the Midianites as one man.
Now jump down to verse 34.
Verse 34.
Let me see. Verse 7, I believe. Right?
You want to drop down chapter 7?
Verse
yeah, we just read
verse go down to 6 and 34. Judges 6 and 34.
6:34.
Right.
This is the book of Judges, chapter 6, verse 34. But the Spirit of the Lord came upon Gideon.
Okay, so this is after he done. So what the Lord done did, right? He came to Gideon, but he told Gideon to go down and cut the towers down of Baal, because at the time the people were serving the god Baal, right? So he had to cut down the altars in order to serve his God. So what God then did? He's like, well, if I'm gonna be with you, you gotta do this thing for me. Cut down the altars and serve me. That's what had to happen. So now we're here, right? And we're finna see what happens. Verse 34, sir. Baba Gasha.
No sweat. Verse 34. But the Spirit of the Lord came upon Gideon, and he blew a trumpet, and Abizar was gathered after him, and he sent messengers throughout all Manasseh,
right?
Who also was gathered after him, and he sent messengers unto Asher, and unto Zebulun, and unto Naphtali, and they came up to meet them.
So he sent all these messengers to come up there and build his army to go down and strike the Midianites. To go, because God told him. God said God came to him. The angel of the Lord came to him and said, he's going to deliver the hand of the Midianites to you, right?
Right.
So he's gathering his whole army, right? Gideon thinking that it's about how much people you have. That's how he's going to do it. How much people you have. So he's gathering everybody. Go tell these people. Go tell these people, man. Let's gather up. Let's kill these people, right?
Right.
Now let's drop down to Judges chapter 7, verse 2.
All right.
Now you're going to learn a very important part. And it's why the Lord is always dealing with the underdog. I don't want to give it away. Why the Lord always dealing with the underdog. One of the reasons why, but we're going to keep reading.
All right. This is the book of Judges, chapter 7, verse 2. And the Lord said unto Gideon, the people that are with thee are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands.
Right. Now watch what the Lord, watch why. This is why, that's why the Lord is always with the few. Because, keep going.
Lest Israel vaunt themselves against me, saying, mine own hand hath saved me.
He's saying, it's too many people. Y'all gonna think that y'all won just because y'all had numbers. I need to show you that your power come from me.
Right.
That's what the Lord is saying. I'm not finna have you go out there with an equal number of people to go fight. Y'all gonna win the battle and y'all not gonna praise me. Y'all gonna praise yourselves. Y'all gonna be like, yeah, y'all got it. Y'all did it. Right? Keep reading, sir.
Verse 3. Now therefore go to proclaim the ears of the people, saying, whosoever is fearful and afraid, let him return and depart early from Mount Gilead. And there returned of the people 22,000, and there remained 10,000.
22,000 people left, right? And only 10,000 stayed.
Right.
Because he wanted to go tell them, man, we really don't want to be here, to leave. And 22,000 left. And that's how the Lord is right now. And that's why we do. Like, a lot of you, and that's why it says, many are called, few are chosen. All these people was called. They wasn't ready. They couldn't fight. They didn't want to be there. And all he had to say, man, you don't want to be a leave. And they 22,000 left. 22,000 left, right? Keep going. Verse 4.
Verse 4. And the Lord said unto Gideon, the people are yet too many.
Right.
Bring them down unto the water,
right.
And I will try them for thee there.
Right. So he's like, you still got too many people. 22,000 left, but that's not enough. The Lord said that's not enough to show my power.
Right.
Can you read it?
I'm keeping.
I think it's in the.
And it shall be that of whom I say unto thee, this shall go with thee.
Mm-hmm.
The same shall go with thee.
Mm-hmm.
And of whomsoever I say unto thee, this shall not go with thee. The same shall not go.
Basically, he's saying that whatever I say these people do, that's the people you're going to keep, and the other people you're going to let them go. Right?
Right.
Verse 5.
Verse 5. So he brought down the people unto the water. Mm-hmm. And the Lord said unto Gideon, mm-hmm. Every one that lappeth of the water with his tongue, as a dog lappeth, him shalt thou set by himself. Right. Likewise, everyone that boweth down upon his knees to drink, mm-hmm. and the number of them that lapped, putting their hands to their mouth, were 300 men. Right. But all the rest of the people bowed down upon their knees to drink water. Right. Keep reading. Verse 7. And the Lord said unto Gideon, by the 300 men that lapped will I save you, and deliver the Midianites into thine hand, and let all the other people go every man unto his place.
So the Lord said, the people who bend down and drunk the water with their head not paying attention and did that, those people, let them go. Right. I want the man who's drinking the head up. Right? Right. That's who I want. That's who I want. And it was only 300. 300, right? Right. You already had the 22,000 left. Now it's only Gideon and the 300 men he's with. Only 300 men. That's not a lot. Not a lot at all. Where we at?
Verse 8, I believe. Verse 8. Yep.
Let's jump down to. Let's go to verse 19. Jump down to 19 in the same chapter.
This is the book of Judges, chapter 7, verse 19. Mm-hmm. So Gideon and the 100 men that were with him.
So he split the 300 up into 3 groups. So 100, 100, 100, right? Go ahead, sir.
Came unto the outside of the camp in the beginning of the middle watch. Mm-hmm. And they had but newly set the watch. And they blew the trumpets and break the pitchers that were in their hands.
Right, so they had pitchers in their hands, right? And this was showing the camp they were surrounding was the Midian camp, the Midianites. They had one on each side, right? They were surrounding them. He had his 100, the other 100, the other 100, right?
That's right.
Verse 20.
Verse 20. And the 3 companies blew the trumpets, right, and break the pitchers, and held the lamps in their left hands.
Right, so the lamps was in the pitchers, right? Right, so they broke the pitchers, grabbed the lamps, right, and they blew the trumpets, right? Keep reading.
And the trumpets in their right hands to blow withal. Mm-hmm. And they cried, the sword of the Lord and of Gideon.
Right, so you gotta realize you relaxing, you chilling, right? And out of nowhere, right now you coming and you hear this loud noise. We already know how one trumpet sounds. We're not one trumpet sound now. You don't know what's going on. You just waking up like, right? You got 300 men with trumpets is blowing. You gonna go like, what's going on? Most people gonna go like this, panic. You in panic mode, right? That's what the Midianites, they in panic mode. Like, what's going on, right? Keep reading.
Verse 21. Mm-hmm. And they stood every man in his place, round about the camp, and all the hosts ran and cried and fled. And the 300 blew the trumpets, and the Lord set every man's sword against his fellow.
So you know what's up? They getting crazy. They so scared. So you know what the Midianites start doing? They start killing themselves. The Lord made them kill themselves. They grab their swords and start killing his fella, right? So he started killing his homeboy. You know what I'm saying? They're going crazy. It reminded me of this movie I watched. It was like this movie. The people never had slept in a while. So they all like end up hallucinating, right? They start seeing things, and everybody else really didn't kill themselves because they start shooting at one person shooting at one person. They start panicking, like, oh, he's not with me. So they start killing him. It's like a train reaction. So these people, all they did there to blow the trumpets. These people scared. They trying to run away. They don't know what's going on. They surrounded. They hear all these trumpets, right? They start just cutting each other, killing each other, right? Keep reading. The Midianites start killing each other. Clarify. Keep reading.
Con. Even throughout all the hosts, and the host fled to Beth-shittah and Zerah, and to the border of Abel-Meloah onto Tabah.
Right, that's good right there. So right there, what you done seen was the Lord that delivered. He had 300 men. 300 men. We're going to find out how many men that's actually still left, that he's still killing. We never got done to how many people they really had. But think about this. We read that 22,000 men left, right?
Right.
Now, before they were scared, they used to come to, people used to have so many cattle, right? So much cattle coming out, so many numbers that we couldn't number. And they used to come and just raid our land, take our stuff. So you already know that even with the 22,000, we were still outnumbered. But now you got 300 men. 300 men went out there and fight for their land, fight for their cause. So what do we got to do? We here in America, it's time for us to fight for our cause.
Right.
With a few.
That's right.
You spending so many time trying to get numbers. You spend so many times trying to get people that don't follow God to fight for you, to fight with you. And that's what you're seeing right now. That's what you're learning right now with Gideon. The Lord only chose 300 men. You know why? Because those 300 men was the men that he needed, that the men that you could trust on and follow. The 22,000 didn't even want to be there. The other men was bending down, not even following, they're not even paying attention. They wasn't real soldiers. The Lord need real soldiers, and it so happened to be that there's not a lot of real soldiers out there. Now, what makes a real soldier? Somebody who's willing to die for the Lord after following the Lord. The law, statute, and commandments, right? And today that you see right now, we fighting so hard to get our numbers right before we go out and fight, and we don't need to.
Right.
We go out there and fight the multitude with just 2, 3, 4 of us. Right. When we all following God because God's with us. And nobody will be able to handle us. Nobody will be able to handle us. You just read the Lord made them slew each other. Right. The same thing he's doing right now in America. America is killing itself right now.
Right.
They always want to talk about black on black crime. Well, what about white on white crime? Right. That's why we in World War III right now, because of white on white crime. It's killing every one of his fellows. That's what America's doing, killing his fellows. They go out there to Ukraine and Russia. They're killing each other. They're the same exact people. Same exact people happening, because why? This is happening for the Lord. You know what's so heavy? What's so heavy about it is that the reason they start killing each other is because those people was following the Lord. So the reason World War III is here is because you have men in the ISUPK who's following the Lord. The Lord, we've been blowing that trumpet. We've been blowing that trumpet. The Lord is letting everybody kill themselves. We're watching Satan cast out Satan.
That's right. That's right.
That's what's happening. Kingdom divided against kingdom. The nation divided against nation. They're going to rise up just the scriptures say Egyptian against Egyptian.
Right.
That's what's going on. And that's what the same thing we're reading right now. Right. It's the same way they only had 300 men. It's the same way how Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are outnumbered here in America and in our oppression.
That's right.
And just like Gideon didn't have to wait for he didn't go crying after those 22,000 men. He didn't go crying after those men that was drinking water, bending down. Same way we shouldn't cry to go get other people. So much so that we were so busy about, if Gideon wanted the men so bad, he would have to change what God told him to do to go get those men. If we want people so bad, we want our numbers so bad, we're going to change what God gave us to get those men. Just like you see fake Israelite groups going out there and changing the doctrine just to get more numbers, because they don't believe, they don't trust in the Lord. They think their strength comes with numbers. All these groups go out there and get numbers. And that's why they tell people, hey, yeah, I believe in this. Yeah, we could change that though if you want to come in. We could teach only a man's only supposed to have one wife. Now you got the whole church congregation of women come into your congregation, your school, because you teaching different, because you think that's about numbers. You don't put your faith in God, you put your faith in numbers. Same way with the Nation of Islam and Malcolm X. They want to go seek help from another nation that was oppressing them. That's what they did. They want to go get help from another nation to help the oppression of the white man when that nation that was helping them was oppressing them as well.
Right.
Why? Because you're not following after God. If you're not following after God, you're going to try to get your numbers to be strong.
That's right.
But it's not about how many numbers you got. It's how many people's in one accord. And that's why right here in the ISUPK, we are one accord. We are one body. That's what we are.
That's right.
And that's what you got to be. That's why Gideon only had 300 men, because only 300 men was ready to serve God. Go ahead, sir.
So like if I may, and that's why the ISUPK says, it's another reason why the ISUPK says we are not affiliated with no other Hebrew Israelite group,
right? Because
they're concerned about numbers,
right?
They say, well, you know, we got this many people in our school. You know, how many people do you have? You know, look at our army, look at our people. You know, they have demonstrations where they're marching down the street, trying to show, you know what I'm saying, trying to show the people their numbers.
Right.
When the Lord says He doesn't deal with numbers. As a matter of fact, you may bring this out.
No, you gonna pull. I know you gonna pull the numbers.
Right. Yeah. When who was it? The number of their military.
Right.
I believe it was David.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? But you know, the Lord doesn't deal with numbers.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's what they do. And I just want to just pull that out. So like,
you don't have the scripture?
Nah.
That was a really big thing he said though. A lot of, like, you know, everybody's about numbers. Everybody. You go say, like, man, you think, you see, the problem is, you know why? Because nobody knows the Most High but the people in the ISUPK.
Right.
You don't know how the Most High operates. You try to think that the Lord is with you because how big your movement is.
That's right.
But let me tell you something. You know who also got a big movement? The lesbian movement. Is the Lord with them? Right. The homosexuals got a big movement. Is the Lord with them? Oh, it's simple. It's simple when you can break that down. Oh, Planned Parenthood, the feminist movement, the Lord's with them. They got huge numbers. The Lord must be with Christianity. That's what must God dwell. Because you seen T.D. Jake's sermons? Man, them things are like a football stadium. The Lord must be with them. But then if you really knew the Most High, you understand the Most High is dealing with the few. You know why? Because not a lot of people could accept the straight gate.
Right.
The straight gate is the way, but it's not the way most people are going to take. And that's why Christ was only walking around with 12 disciples.
Right.
He was raising people from the dead, but they couldn't agree to what he was teaching. Everybody wanted to get raised. Everybody wanted to get a little bit of blessing. Everybody wanted to get them demons cast out of them. Nobody wanted to follow what he was teaching, though.
Right. Right.
That's the problem. If Christ would have said, if he would have came up and said more things that benefited people's lives, not benefit people's lives, but that that people was doing, if he would have said more things that related to what people was doing, more people would join him.
Right.
If Christ would have walked and said, man, you know, you can smoke weed, it opens up your third eye, your spiritual side, to understand what I'm talking about, my parables. He would have had way more than 12. He had about 12,000. He probably had the whole everybody. Man, he probably would never got killed. But the Lord's not dealing with that. The Lord said, this is what it is. This is the program. Get down or leave. Get down or die. and let real men handle my business. And that's what the men were Gideon was with, was 300 real men.
Right.
Right? See, where we at, sir?
I last read verse 19.
19.
Oh, it was verse 20.
Okay, we're gonna jump down to chapter 8.
22. Chapter 8?
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 8. All right, chapter 8.
Chapter 8, verse 10.
All right, this is the book of Judges, chapter 8, verse 10. Now, Zebah and Zalmunna were in Karkor, and their hosts with them, about 15,000 men, all that were left of all the hosts of the children of the east.
Now, so you say host. Host means armies, right?
Right.
So keep going, sir.
For there fell 120,000 men that drew sword. Verse 11. And Gideon went up by the way of them that dwelt in tents on the east of Nobah, and Jogbehah, and smote the host, for the hosts were secure.
Right. So he smote the army. Why? Because they was not expecting it.
Right.
They were just relaxed. He smote them again. 300 men they going out there doing the Lord's business. All in the name of the Lord. All because the Lord's dealing with them. They're going out there not scared, no nothing. Why? Because Gideon knew the Lord was with him.
Right.
And Gideon knew that it don't matter about numbers. Gideon knew that 300 men with the Lord was more than enough. That he knew it was more than enough. And that's what we got to realize. We too busy thinking that we need to keep friends with people and get so many people join with us rather than serving the Lord.
Right.
And only knowing a few. And only going to battle with a few. You want to go to battle with people that you can't trust.
That's right.
And that's what happened and that's the one that happens with the Black Panthers. The Black Panthers, you go to war with all these people going to fight the oppression while the man you fighting with sleeping with your wife right next to you.
Right.
Because you worry about numbers. You worry about numbers. You go and vet the people that you trying to let into your group. You just want numbers. You come in, anybody come in. Anybody come in, man. But the Lord's with the few. The Lord's with the people who endure.
Right.
That's what the Lord is with. And you know why it's a few of them? Because now not many people is ready to endure. People just do this for a while. Because when it only feels good. When it only feels good. You only serve the Lord when it feels good. You're not serving the Lord when you are in poverty, when you are dying because of what you chose to do.
Right. That's right.
You ain't ready to turn back on the Lord. You mad at the Lord. He turned his back away from you because you disobeyed him first.
Right.
Now who that sound like? You know where we get that mentality from? America. We get that mentality from America because America always want to paint the picture as if they're not the victim. They do all these different things into the community. They mess up the ozone layer. You got all this pollution. They making all these animals gonna extinct. We got all this. You got COVID-19 coming. They want to blame everybody else when they're the root of the problem.
Right.
You are the cause of your affliction. America is the cause of its own affliction, and that's why they don't blame. They don't put the blame on nobody. They don't put the blame on themselves. They put it on everybody else.
Right.
It's what we did. We try to put the blame on God. We don't want to serve God because we feel as though, God, how dare the Creator not be with me when I do Him wrong? That's our mentality. That's our mentality as a people. All right? And let's go down to, that's it on Gideon. Right. And what you see with Gideon was 300 men went there and did damage. Why? Because they had faith in God. That's all you need. When you ready to turn back, you see that they cried unto the Lord. They knew their mistake was wrong. And that's just what a father wants. A father just want to let you know that you just show me that you did wrong. Acknowledge it and change your life. And I will be there to protect you. And that's all you got to do. And you don't have to worry about numbers. You don't have to worry about what everybody else doing. because you see the people who follow God are few, you don't want to join. You see that the people who follow God are only a little bit of numbers. There's only a couple of them. Only a couple of men, a couple of women are willing to change their life for God. In the midst of this society, where this society teaches you to do everything but follow God.
Right.
And that's why you don't want to follow. Because you don't see the numbers. You don't think it's a good fight. You think, let me tell you something. 1 Corinthians 4:10 said we are fools for Christ's sake. You know why we are fools? Because you see us go out there and camp. You go see all those prophesying. You see only about 7 brothers against the whole entire Austin, and you say God is not with them. You say, how can 7 men take down this stronghold? Why? Because we have God on our side.
That's right.
We only need, when Gideon had 300 men, that was more than enough. More than enough men. The Lord had mercy and gave him 300 men.
Right.
The Lord could have took that place down just like he took Egypt down. Just like he took Egypt. Just like he's taking this place down. Just like he's taking this place down, man. You don't have to do nothing. Just serve the Lord. Serve the Lord, and you don't need numbers. You will have numbers with the Lord.
Right.
Let me tell you something, man. 200 million angels going to come out of the sky with Christ to give justice to Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans.
That's right.
That's your numbers. That's the numbers you want. I'm letting you know. That's the secret. That's the secret of our army. You want an army so bad. You want an army so bad. Well, we got 200,000 angels coming to save us. To save us. And let me tell you something. Our technology is way more advanced than America's technology.
Right.
But you all got to be willing to fight here with a few before you experience that number to come and save you. Now let's get down to one everybody knows, David and Goliath. Never talk about how the Lord was with David. The Lord was with David. David wasn't a big brother. He wasn't a scary looking brother, right? He took down this uncircumcised Philistine through the power of the Most High. And you're gonna start to realize that's all you need. You're gonna start to realize and wake up that you don't need numbers. You don't need all these different tactics and these different ways of fighting. All you need is God. That's it. What God has to say. That's all I need. It's peaceful waking up and knowing that you're going to overcome your enemies. And they say the future's already written. We living in the future. This life is already written. Let's get there. Let's get 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel 4. I think it's like 17.
1 Samuel 17.
And I actually want 16 and 5.
16?
Yeah, because I want to show. We're going to talk about how David became king, how the Lord put his spirit upon David, right? There's another story you got to understand because we got to start this class. I'm trying to bring out the personality of the Lord, who he deals with, how he deals with it, right? Because the Most High God, without the Bible, without understanding, you think he's this guy who likes the biggest and baddest of everything.
Right.
But that's not the case. We just read that with Gideon versus the Midianites. We just read that Deuteronomy 7. He picked us because we was few.
Right.
We're the underdog of this world, and that's why the Lord is with us. Read what you got, sir. 1 Samuel 16 and 5.
All right. This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 16, verse 5. And he said, peaceably, I am come to sacrifice unto the Lord. Sanctify yourselves and come with me to the sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
And he sanctified Jesse and his sons and called them to the sacrifice.
Right, this is the prophet Samuel, right? The Lord told him that he's going to have the king come out of Jesse's loins, right? So he's going to Jesse and his sons to see who's the king is. At this time, he don't know it's David. He just know that one of Jesse's sons will be king, right?
Right.
Verse 6.
Verse 6. And it came to pass when they were come that he looked on Eliab and said, surely the Lord's anointed is before him.
Like he's looking at one of his sons like, well, surely one of the kings is here.
Right.
He's looking at Jesse's sons like, I know the king is here. If I was some big burly man looking like a king, like what you would picture a king will. Samuel thought the exact same thing. That's what the Lord said, right?
Right.
Verse 7.
Verse 7. But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth.
For the Lord seeth not as what?
As man seeth. For man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart.
The mind, man. Let me tell you something. The Lord picks his men by the fight within.
Right. That's right.
You don't care if you small, you scrawny. The Lord don't deal with that. That's what men deal with. Let me tell you something. And that's what you know why. Because that's why America, you got all these superheroes going on. They got to be men, strong men, big men, right? They got to be over 6 feet tall. Right. That's what America calls a superhero.
That's right.
Where the Lord said the superheroes are the least desired, the Black, Hispanic, Native Americans.
That's right.
That's what that man you walk by who's 4.5 feet tall. That's what the Lord look at upon. If that man has a spirit of the Lord on him, that he want to follow law, such and commandments.
That's right.
That man is worth more than anybody who disobeyed the Lord. But you looking at as men, you think you have an idea what a king is supposed to be. And that's why it's been held, because you've been picking people from the outward appearance. You've been trusting people for the way they look and not from within, how they mind things. And that's a lesson you can take with anything, especially sisters or brothers when you vetting people. When you vetting people, you looking at a sister, you shouldn't look at a sister what she think about on the outside, what she look like. Think about how that sister mind is.
Right, that's right.
That's when we start vetting people, and that's because that's what, you know why? You know, that's wisdom. Because that's how the Lord thinks.
That's right.
Go by within. We're too caught up in what the outward appearance look like. There's another reason why we are choosing our own oppression. We are choosing our own downfall. Because we are going to whatever the man sees right. And not whatever God sees right? Keep reading, sir.
Verse 8. Then Jesse called Abinadab and made him pass before Samuel. And he said, neither had the Lord chosen this.
Right. So he's like, the Lord didn't choose this one either, right?
Right.
Not this one either, right? Keep reading.
Verse 9. Then Jesse made Shammah to pass by. And he said, neither had the Lord chosen this.
Nah, he's going to all his sons, good sons.
Right.
Still not the one.
That's right.
Keep reading, sir, if you could.
Verse 10. Again, Jesse made 7 of his sons to pass before Samuel. And Samuel said unto Jesse, the Lord hath not chosen these.
Man, all these sons, fruitful and multiply, man. All these sons still not the king he was looking for.
Right.
Good stock, good kings, but they not the one.
That's right.
They not the one. Keep reading, sir. Verse 11.
Verse 11. And Samuel said unto Jesse, are here all thy children? And he said, there remaineth yet the youngest. And behold, he keepeth the sheep. And Samuel said unto Jesse, send and fetch him, for we will not sit down till he come hither.
Now let me tell you something. Then the Lord is saying in Deuteronomy 7:7, right? Well, he said we was the fewest in number, right? And we mentioned that we the youngest nation.
Right.
You sort of see how the Lord thinks, how the Lord dealing with. Lord is going to always be with the underdog. Right. He was with David. David was the youngest, just how Gideon was the least of his family.
Right.
And his family was poor. But you think that you're not meant to do the work of the Lord because America taught you different. America taught you what a king and a soldier is supposed to look like.
Right.
And you think you're not fit to serve God. Man, God is with the underdog.
Right.
God is with the person. God is with the person that nobody wants to deal with. The man without no hope. The man, the only thing he has is to serve God. And that's who God is dealing with.
That's right. And
that's who God wants. That's the only people that God wants. Right?
That's right.
Keep reading.
Come on, verse
12.
Verse 12. And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy and with of a beautiful countenance.
What's ruddy? You know what ruddy means? Anybody? Mm-hmm.
Oh, we good.
Like traditional Native American skin tone.
It's not color.
Oh.
It's not talking about color.
I mean, he was young in appearance.
He was fair skinned. He looked good. Skin. That's what he means.
Ready?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. And can you read it?
Verse.
We actually could get it. If you want to get it out, we got the Bible dictionary.
Yeah, I got it. One second.
A lot of people want to say that David was red.
Right.
They want to say that he was white. He was red. Right. We're going to get the definition, right? Lucky. Lucky. Yeah. All right, right here. Right? It says a word used to refer to a red or fair complexion. Fair, right?
Fair.
So he's fair. He looked nice.
Handsome.
That's why. So you know why? They didn't think this would be king? Because he looked too good to be king.
Right.
It's a pretty boy. This man got no scars on his face. This ain't the king. We need somebody right like somebody got a little bit of battle scars on him.
Right.
He's too young anyway. Look at this boy. He's a little pretty boy. Yeah, he ain't been through nothing.
Right.
It's like what we say. Man, you don't know how you gonna be. You can't rule over me, boy. You never did what I did.
Right.
You don't know what I've been through. Why? Because we teach that people have to go through what we go through to listen to him. When God said Moses to be in charge, and Moses was right next to Pharaoh. He never been through what his people been through, but he seen the affliction of his people, and that was enough.
Right.
That was enough for Moses to go and smite the Egyptian and go save his people from hell. You too busy neglecting strong leaders because you're mad they never went through the same affliction you went through.
Right.
Instead of realizing that your affliction is his affliction. Your oppression is his oppression.
That's right.
And you won't listen to no man. No man the Lord sins. Because that man the Lord sent had to have been able to do drugs before.
Right.
He had to have been in jail before. You can't get no man that's worth looking at as a role model. Let me tell you something, man. Christ came from Nazareth. Say, what good could come from Nazareth? Christ was to a poor couple, a young, unwedded married couple, just like today. How many of our mothers and fathers had us without having a ceremony? That's who your king is. You cry so hard for somebody to pay attention to that was like you. Christ came in the same exact likeness of his brethren.
Right.
But he didn't do half the stuff we did. He grew up the same way we did, but he never did drugs. He wasn't gang banging. He wasn't a murderer. But yet he grew up just like us.
That's right.
Just like us. Where we at?
Verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, no, verse 12. I didn't finish verse 12. Verse 12. And he sent and brought him in.
Mm-hmm.
Now he was ruddy
and
withal of a beautiful countenance and goodly to look to.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord said, arise, anoint him, for this is he.
Right, this is him. This is who it is. The one that you least expected. That's the one.
Right.
And that's why nobody could believe the Lord is with Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Because it got to be the last choice.
Right.
It got to be the last choice. We're going to get away. The Lord's not going to save these people.
Right.
The Lord ain't going to, look at them. They all obnoxious. They loud. They can't hold a job. They sell drugs to one another. They steal. They criminals. Their hair nappy. Their lips too big. Their skin too dark. Look at them. The Lord ain't with them.
Right.
The Lord is with us. You prove the Lord is with us. That's what you did. You proved the Lord is with us because we are the least desired in this hell.
Right.
Nobody come and save Black, Hispanics, Native Americans. So you know who has to? You know who has to come and save us now? The Most High God.
That's right.
And you did that unto your own self. You made us the least likely. You made us the underdog. You made God be with us. And now you're going to have to pay for it.
Right.
Verse 17, Salakia, chapter 17, 1 Samuel. We're gonna get into when he was the Philistines. And we always had battles with the Philistines. You know what I'm saying?
All right, verse 17.
The Africans, right, sir?
That's right.
Dirty Africans, stinking Africans. We try so hard to be Africans, man. You go there and always talk about David and Goliath story, but then you still fight to be Africans.
Right.
Good night, man.
Which verse should we start?
Verse 3.
All right.
And like you see right here, Salakia, so my bad, Salakia. You always see God killing these Africans, man.
Right.
Y'all find so hard for God to love everybody. I feel bad. Y'all, what they want to say? Well, Christ came on the scene. I ain't trying to go too much off topic, but they just say Christ came on the scene. Now he love everybody.
Right.
So all these guys, if I was an African and you come and tell me God loves everybody now, I still wouldn't follow him. Because all my ancestors had to die in vain.
Right.
If God loves everybody, all these Philistines, the Egyptians died for no reason.
Right. Right.
Good night. Verse 3, sir.
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 17, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And the Philistines stood on a mountain on one side, and Israel stood on a mountain on the other side. And there was a valley between them.
Right, just like you see in movies, they stand up looking at each other like, you know what I'm saying? You see the army, they see their multitude, you see their multitude, and looking at each other like, man, we gotta go through this. We finna go to war. We finna go to war, right? Can you read it?
Verse 4. And there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines, named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span.
Right, this man was like over 8 feet tall, man. This dude right here, they're like the champion, the man who represented them. They know this man. Oh, there go Goliath again. There go he again. What he want?
Right.
I'm not messing with him. Right? Keep reading.
Verse 5. And he had an helmet of brass upon his head, and he was armed with a coat of mail. And the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of brass.
A lot, right? Keep going.
Verse 6. And he had graves of brass upon his leg, and a target of brass between his shoulders.
Now, this man was ready for war. Let's talk about it. He's ready for war. It's already bad enough. He's this big and this strong. He's already bad enough. He's an African, because you know how Africans are.
Right.
Wild, crazy. They got all this armor on them. And you know us as black people, we don't mess with crazy people. We don't. You see people go crazy. That's what these Africans is. Right now, you see them, they run them, they don't have nothing.
Right.
No morals. They do anything. They'll bite your ear off, eat your ear, eat your heart out your stomach, out your chest. Man, we ain't messing with that. Come on now. Keep going.
Verse 7. And the staff of his spear was like a...
Okay, so we're going... Okay, verse 8. You can sit down to verse 8.
Verse 8. And he stood and cried unto the armies of Israel, and said unto them, why are ye come out to set your battle in array? Am not I a Philistine, and ye servants to Saul? Choose a man for you, and let him come down to me.
And so now he's mocking. He's like, am I not a Philistine? I thought I was nothing. Why ain't nobody coming out trying to fight me by yourself, right? Keep reading.
Verse 9. If he be able to fight with me and to kill me, then will we be your servants. But if I prevail against him and kill him, then shall ye be our servants and serve him, serve us.
And that is a wage on the line. He said, y'all pick, you know what? Pick your man.
Right.
Pick your man. Who's your king? Come let him fight me. I'm just a Philistine. Now he's mocking Israel.
Mm-hmm.
He's mocking Israel. It's kind of like in Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, they always had instead of them going to war, they would pick somebody, the top people in their army, to go out and duel. And whoever wins, it was just that's who won the war. Out those two men, you it's a way of saving your people, right? Go ahead.
Verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
And the Philistine said, I defy the armies of Israel this day. Give me a man that we may fight together.
Mm-hmm.
When Saul and all Israel heard those words of the Philistine, they were dismayed and greatly afraid.
Now you see Saul got the Spirit of the Lord taken from him because he disobeyed the Lord, and you can see it right here.
That's right.
Because he was scared. Saul being scared right here, you knew the Lord wasn't with him no more.
Right. That's right.
The Lord's with David now. We're gonna see the Spirit of the Lord on David. He was young, right? Drop down to verse 23.
Verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
And as he talked with them, behold, there came up the champion,
mm-hmm.
the Philistine of Gath,
mm-hmm.
Goliath by name,
mm-hmm.
out of the armies of the Philistines,
mm-hmm.
and spake according to the same words.
Mm-hmm.
And David heard them.
So he said the same stuff, and David heard that. David heard that, right? Keep going, sir.
Verse 24. And all the men of Israel,
mm-hmm.
when they saw the men, fled from him and were sore afraid.
Right. He's supposed to be strong men.
That's right.
Strong because they look like it. Keep reading.
Verse 25. And the men of Israel said, have ye seen this man that is come up? Surely to defy Israel is he come up. And it shall be that the men who killeth him, the king will enrich him with great riches, and will give him his daughter, and make his father's house free in Israel.
So like, man, y'all see this man? Who trying to kill him? Whoever kill him, man, the Lord, the king gonna make you great. King gonna make you great if you can kill this man, right? You read it?
Verse 26. And David spake to the men that stood by him, saying, What shall be done to the men that killeth the Philistines?
Mm-hmm.
And taketh away the reproach from Israel.
Yeah, take away the reproach. Take away this thing y'all scared to fight him. To take away us looking bad. Take away the reproach from Israel, right?
Right.
Keep going.
For who is this uncircumcised Philistine?
Who is this uncircumcised Philistine? Who is this man? Like, who is he? This is such a black book, man. You know you better get into somebody like, nigga, who is you?
Right.
This is a black book.
Right.
Who is this dude? He done said something like, what? Who is you, man? Who is this uncircumcised Philistine?
Right.
Don't let nobody tell you this ain't no black book, man. Keep reading.
That he should defy the armies of the living God.
Well, who should you defy who are you to defy the armies of the living God? Do you not know who we report to? Well, you must be out your mind.
Right.
You must be out your mind. Keep going.
Verse 27. And the people answered him after this manner, saying, So shall it be done to the men that killeth him. Verse 28. And Eliab is
can you drop down to 20?
Which one?
Verse 31.
Verse 31. Verse 31.
Wait, drop down. Drop down to verse 35, I think.
Verse 35. And I went out.
Verse 30. Slagi, verse 33.
Okay, no sweat. This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 6.
Verse 32, Slagi.
No sweat. This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 17.
Mm-hmm.
You said 30.
Come on, sir.
32. All right, 32. And David said to Saul, Let no man's heart fail because of him.
Mm-hmm.
Thy servant will go and fight with this Philistine.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 33. And Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth.
Look at Saul. Don't still don't know how the Lord works.
Right.
Saying, boy, this man come over here ready to fight for you, ready to fight for his nation in the name of his God. He said, boy, you a little boy.
That's right.
This man been killing since he was your age.
Right.
You're not gonna do nothing. But David knew he would do something because the Lord was with him.
Right.
He knew that he was just a vessel of the Most High. You know what I'm saying?
I have a question. Wasn't Saul the king at the time, or wasn't he a king at a certain time?
He was the king at the time. He was still the king at the time, but the Lord had took his spirit away from him. And when David had to fight to get the kingdom. He had to fight because people still had alliances with Saul after David got up, grew might. And after a while, David started becoming powerful when the Lord was with him. So he was killing, Saul was killed thousands, Philistines, he would kill tens of thousands. Right. And Saul became jealous. Why? Because the Lord was with him and not with him. You know what I'm saying? Saul seek to kill him, right? I don't get too much, but Saul seek to kill him, but David has so much mercy and being of the Lord's heart, he wouldn't lay hands on the Lord's anointed, a man the Lord chose before. He had respect unto him. He had a lot of brotherhood, even though he hated that man. Saul hated David. David fled just to not to kill him. And Saul, even so much so that Saul ended up dying in battle, right? And David killed the man who came and tried to glorify his death.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. Where we at?
Verse 34.
Mm-hmm.
All right, verse 34. And David said unto Saul, thy servant kept his father's sheep.
Now he's finna explain like why he's gonna be the reason. Like David's finna do what all of us have to do when we want to get the shot.
Right.
Instead of somebody just believing in us, we got to go ahead and give our resume out. Instead of getting a fair shot because we have the willpower to do it, what nobody else would do, we got to sit down and be integrated and give our resume. Give up what we got to. Why should I do this? I shouldn't have to explain. Nobody else doing it.
Right.
Nobody else want to fight. I'm giving my life for the Lord. Let me do it.
That's right.
Keep going, sir.
And there came a lion and a bear and took a lamb out of the flock. And he went out after him and smote him and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard, and smote him and slew him. Thy servant slew both the lion and the bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he hath defied the armies of the living God.
See, he never said he's gonna be like them. He done killed lions and bears. He said, boy, this boy ain't nothing.
Right.
He's gonna be just like them. And he didn't say the ones who defiled us. He didn't stop right there. He said the ones who defiled the armies of the living God.
Right.
The reason why you got to die is not because you disrespected me. You disrespected the Most High God. That's why. That's why I'm coming to destroy you. We are the Lord's army. Don't be putting our name in our mouth. We're not going. David knew that he wasn't going to let the Lord be a mockery.
Right.
He knew that he had to go fight because nobody else will fight. They made the Lord look bad. And him having the Lord's spirit, he had to go fight. Right?
Right.
We're going to skip down. Let's get down to let's jump to 42. So now David got his weapon. Everybody know his slingshot, right?
Right.
So he's going down there. He's ready to fight. This little boy only got a slingshot, right? Verse 42.
Verse 42. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth and ruddy and of a fair countenance. And the Philistine said unto David,
What, drop down to 45?
Verse 45. Then said David to the Philistine, thou comest to me with a sword and with a spear and with a shield, but I come to thee in the name of the Lord of hosts.
But I come to thee in the name of the Lord of armies. Good night.
That's right.
He told that boy, you got all that stuff. You have all the weapons. You got the criminal justice system. You got Planned Parenthood. You got the police. You got the armies.
That's right.
You got the court system. You got the schools. You got the banks. You got the businesses. You come to fight against me. You come to fight against Black and Hispanics and Native Americans with all that. But we come here and we fight in the name of the Lord.
Right.
That's what we have. We're going to see who comes up on top. We're going to see. You have all that you got, but I come in here in the name of the Lord. I'm coming to fight for the Lord, for the Lord's people. Keep reading.
Verse. Salaki. Verse 45. But I come to thee in the name of the Lord of hosts.
Right, Shalagi. Yeah, Corey Woodham's Goliath was an African. It was a big old African, stinking African, man. Keep going, sir.
The God of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied. This day will the Lord deliver thee into mine hand, and I will smite thee, and take thine hand from thee, and will give the carcasses of the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air, and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel.
So the Lord gonna know. The Lord's going to know because this little man then just whooped your behind. They're going to know surely it was from God. That's exactly what's going to happen on the day of the Lord when Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans start ruling. Like, man, these people ruling, there must be a God. David won that fight. It must be a God.
Right.
It must be a God, man. David was so smooth with it. That's how you know it's a black buck. He told the man what he's gonna do. Just like right now, you go play ball right now. Like, boy, I'm finna come up in here, I'm finna cross you up, finna cross him up, then I'm finna dunk the ball.
Right.
That's how we talk. Boy, I'm finna do you dirty, boy. I'm finna hit you with, I'm about to hit you two left hooks, a jab, a right. I'm knocking you out. We always gotta do that. We always gotta tell people what we finna do before we do it.
Right. That's right.
That's why, because we the people of this book.
That's right.
You reading?
Verse 47. And all this assembly shall know that the Lord saveth not with sword and spear, for the battle is the Lord's.
You jumped out of 49?
Verse 49.
Wait, Salakia. He said, for the battle is the Lord's. It's not our fight. This is the Lord's fight. You disrespected the Lord's army. Now you got to pay. You don't know who you didn't mess with. You don't know who I work for. You think we come out here and fight because we were just a regular army? No, this was the Lord's army. This is the army that have the Lord's name on it.
Right.
And that's why you got yourself stuck up in the crosshairs. Just like right now, you come and mess with the ISUPK, tread lightly. Because this is where the Lord put his name on.
Right.
And you will be fighting the Lord's fight. You're not going to be fighting against us. You're going to be fighting against the Lord. I should put that scripture, Acts 5 and 29, I believe. Keep reading.
Verse 49. And David put his hand in his bag and took thence a stone and slang it and smote the Philistine in his forehead, that the stone sunk in his forehead, and he fell upon his face to the earth. Verse 50. So David prevailed over the Philistine,
right,
with a sling and with a stone, and smote the Philistine, and slew him. But there was no sword in the hand of David. Therefore,
that boy had no sword in his hand. This how crazy. This how cutthroat this man was. Just straight, just a killer. Keep going. He young. Remember, this is still a little boy. Little boy, they talk about who died that he would never. Who you? This is him. Why? Because he has the spirit of the Lord on him. Right. So God looks at your mind. This is the spirit of the Lord. No matter how big, how tall, how mean you look, you get the spirit of the Lord, you're gonna do crazy things. Right. Go ahead, read.
Verse 51. Therefore David ran and stood upon the Philistine and took his sword and he drew it out out of the sheath thereof, and slew him, and cut off his head therewith. And when the Philistines saw their champion was dead, they fled.
Dang, that's it right there, man. That's the Lord being with the underdog. Right, that's all you gotta be. You think you gotta be this big old guy for the Lord to choose you. You gotta be this you gotta be having a good life for the Lord to choose you. When you just have to be you could be the poorest family on the block.
Right.
And the least of your family. That's what you could have all your brothers could have went straight to the NFL, to the NBA, been big, strong. You came out, you the runt of the litter. That's what they call dogs. You the runt. You the smallest. But if you got the spirit of the Lord on you, you want to serve God, that's who he's going to pick.
Right.
That's who he's going to choose. To let everybody know that and when you see that man, you will know the Lord is with him.
That's right.
When you see that man do great things, you will know the Lord's with him.
That's right.
You like, surely there's a God that exists. All right. What time? 10 minutes. We could fast forward to let's get you got the apocrypha?
Yeah.
All right. Let's drop down to let's do I don't have time for Judas. We're gonna hear it and get it. We're gonna get Judas Maccabeus in the apocrypha, the Maccabees, which is another thing that is a very important story to understand, because just like it's the time they was going in right now it's just as in the time we going in right now. Probably not so much to a degree. When back then, at that time, they was really dying. They was really dying for. You need an extra one?
Yeah.
They was actually dying for trying to keep their laws and their customs. Over it, they were trying to die. They was dying. I mean, right now, nobody kills you now, but we still getting oppressed for trying to do what we want to do. So much so, America, the way instead of us killing us for it, they done killed our mind by giving us Christianity. You know, these false religions where we just do it ourselves. We kill ourselves. We pick up the gun and kill ourselves, right?
Where you want to
go? Judas Maccabees. First Maccabees, verse 38. First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 38.
All right, one second. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 38.
Go to verse 41.
Verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
Right, they being ruled over by these people, man. He was ruled over by the Romans, right? First we was ruled by the Greeks, the Romans. Right now with the Greco-Roman Empire, we was ruled over by them too, right? It's like this, we was ruled over by them this time of the Maccabees. This is the Greeks, right? This is before Christ got on the scene. We were being ruled over them, and we couldn't keep our laws. This is what you realizing. This is what you're starting to find is the Hellenization of the Jews. You're starting to realize how in the New Testament when he says to the Gentiles and to the people scattered abroad, this is the people he's talking to, the people who lost their custom, the people who's just as a heathen because they forced them to become like them. They forced them to adapt their culture and leave their laws, right? When I say force, I mean forced. I mean, we're going to read. Verse 42.
Verse 42. And everyone should leave his laws, so all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath.
And so you got the traitors of our people going there and agreed to do that without no fight, because they were scared to die. They were scared to fight. They was more scared of the creator than the create. They was more scared of the creation than the creator, the Most High God. Right?
Right.
Go drop down to 46.
Verse 46. in verse 46, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised, and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation.
And that's what you see right now. That's what they forced them to do. Force us to eat swine's flesh. And since you don't know your history, you go in there and eat the swine's flesh willingly. And your soul is abominable. We're going to have to fast forward. Go down to verse 16.
Verse 60.
Now pay attention to this. This is how evil you. This is the same people that we. This are the same people today. These are the same exact people today that we are serving. This is their cruel, and this is their cruel way of forcing us to do things. Right? Keep going.
Verse 60. At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised, and they hanged the infants about their necks, and rifled their horses, and slew them that had circumcised them. Howbeit,
slew them. That's good right there.
All right.
They had put their infants around their necks because they circumcised them on the 8th day. So you circumcise your child the 8th day, they put it around your neck. So that means the child only 9 days old at least. Probably 8 days old. Probably, you know what I'm saying?
Right, that's right.
That is evil. Like us as Black, Hispanic, Native Americans, we can't even fathom doing that. The reason why we done it is because we love everybody.
Right.
So we would never fathom to kill another infant of another nation. Good night. Let's drop down to, now we're going to get into, I'm not going to be able to read that. Let's go to verse 3, 1 Maccabees 3 and 16. We're going to read that. So, of course, there's a brother named Mattathias, and he had 5 sons, right? And he seen this. I'm good?
Yeah, you good.
Okay. I didn't want to go past 9.
Oh, no, like, you cool.
Okay.
Whatever.
So, okay. Let me see. Hold up. Okay. So Mattathias and his sons came together, right?
Right.
1 Maccabees 2 and 18.
First Maccabees chapter 2.
Verse 18.
Chapter 2, verse 18. Now therefore come thou first, and fulfill the king's commandment, like as all the heathen have done. Yea, and the men of Judah also, and such as remain in Jerusalem. So shalt thou and thy house be in the number of the king's friends, and thou and thy children shall be honored with silver and gold and many rewards.
So he's like, come on, man. You and your children, y'all do what we say. One world religion. Let everybody be the same. Leave your God to come and follow us. We'll be your friends.
Right.
That's what Mattathias said. Strong, masculine man, brother, man. That's what he said. Verse 19.
Verse 19. Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice, though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him, and fall away every one from the religion of their fathers, and give consent to his commandment, yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers.
And he said, all these other nations, everybody else, they do what you say.
That's right.
They forsake their father's beliefs to go and follow you. But me and my house, we gonna serve the Lord.
Right.
That's what he said.
Damn right.
Keep going.
Verse
21.
All right. Okay, the one. Verse 21. God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances.
God forbid we forsake the law and ordinances. We're not going, but you want to kill me for me to, I'm scared of the man who could kill the body and the soul.
Right.
Not the man who just killed the body. You killing me for serving God is gonna bring me back in a greater condition I was in.
Right.
But if I disobey God, you still going to kill me. We've been disobeying God and they still been killing us. And we've been coming back in a worse condition.
Right.
Right? Keep going.
Verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
We will not hearken to the king's words to go from our religion, either on the right hand or the left.
Right, belief. You said from our belief, right? Come on, go.
Now, when he left, speaking these words, there came one of the Jews in the sight of all, to sacrifice on the altar, which was at Modin, according to the king's commandment.
Right. This right now would be a trait of our people.
Right.
Who did and what he's in the Christian church. It's a man in the Christian church forcing him to eat pork because his pastor then told him something. Not even his own pastor. Joel Osteen. Joel Osteen told him to go tell him to eat the pork, right? Keep going.
Verse 23. Now when he left speaking these words, so like verse 24. Which thing when Mattathias saw, he was inflamed with zeal, and his reins trembled. Neither could he forbear to slew his anger, to shew his anger according to judgment. Wherefore he ran and slew him upon the altar.
That man killed that man. He seen that, and the zeal he had for the Lord, the love he had for the Lord. He said, hell no, he couldn't hold it.
Right.
He's like, I can't believe what I see. These people gonna kill our people. They gonna kill our people.
That's right.
Gonna take our babies, and you come over here and join them willingly.
Right.
And going to tell me do what they tell me to do. Man, I killed the man. Killed the man.
That's right.
Keep going. Just like on Nat Turner rebellion. You had to take the traitors of your people first, because them the people who holding you back.
That's right.
That's what he had to do. Keep going.
Verse 25. Also the king's commissioner, who compelled men to sacrifice, he killed at that time, and the altar he pulled down. Thus dwelt he zealously for the law of God, like as Pines did unto Zaburi, the son of Solomon. And Mattathias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me.
Okay, jump down to 1 Maccabees chapter 3, verse 16. And what you've seen is he's telling everybody, if anybody want to be on the side I am, if anybody love God like I love God, come and follow me.
Right.
And this is when you see the Maccabees, the revolt they had on Antiochus and what he had planned for them. They wasn't doing it. They was going to fight. They was going to fight like Gideon fought.
Right.
They was going to fight like David fought. And they knew something. They knew how their ancestors fought. And this man had the Spirit of the Lord on them. Now this is Judah Maccabees. After this, his father led the revolt. He ended up passing away, right? So one of his sons took it up. His name was Judah Maccabees, right? So here you go right here. This is him. 1 Maccabees 3:16, sir.
Verse 6. 1 Maccabees chapter 3, verse 16. And when he came near to the going up of Bethhorns, Judas went forth to meet him with a small company, who when they saw the host coming to meet them, said unto Judas, how shall we be able, being so few, to fight against so great a multitude and so strong, seeing we are ready to faint with fasting all this day?
He's like, man, us being so few, how can we fight against them? Us being so few in America, Oh man, you see the police, they shooting us in the street. They killing unarmed black men. I mean, we're going to jail. We're going to jail for an ounce of weed. Now they got dispensaries up. They don't let the man back out of jail. We going to jail for drugs. They locking us up for no reason. Crimes that we did not commit. I mean, I can't get a job. I've been working at McDonald's for so long. You know, last hired, first fired. I mean, there's no option for me. They taking my father out the house. You know, they done changed our they got our women. They made our women think like how they think. Now the women don't love us. They so strong. I mean, they got all the banks. I can't get a business loan. My credit score is bad. I can't do nothing.
Right.
What are you telling me? Why not? Why not I join them? We're so few in number. We're so few in number, and they're so strong in everything. We're gonna see. We're gonna see what he said.
Right. Verse 18.
Mm-hmm. Verse 18.
Verse 18. Unto whom Judas answered, It is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few. And with the God of heaven, it is all one to deliver with a great multitude or a small company.
Let me tell you something. It don't matter. The God shut them up in the hands of a few. Let me tell you something. Judas Maccabees knew about David and Goliath.
Right.
He knew about Gideon versus the Midianites. And he knew that how many people you had did not show how much the Lord was with you. And he wasn't scared because he had the Spirit of the Lord on him. And that's how we should be.
It's like, oh man.
Go ahead, sir.
Nah, man, what you're saying is super heavy because what you're saying is super heavy because look at Moses. You know what I'm saying? That even Moses, he didn't understand it at the moment when the angel of the Lord speaking to him. And he said, how am I going to do this? I'm only but one man, right?
Right.
And he was told the Lord's going to do. Yeah. So let me back up. The Lord still delivered the children of Israel out of the hands of Pharaoh,
right?
With just using Moses. You know what I'm saying? And that's the spirit that, just like what you're bringing out, that's the spirit that we should be in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's exactly the spirit we should be in. So
that's right, sir. Because the reason why, if I could touch on it, if I could, was that another thing. Moses, he wasn't even good at speaking.
Right.
He wasn't even good at speaking. And he had the exact same spirit. He done loved his people so much. He fled after smiting the Egyptian. But when God came to him, you gotta realize it. He's like, well, how am I gonna do it?
Right.
Being so few, only me, I can't even speak good.
Right. That's right.
And that's why the Lord chooses certain men. It don't matter about your qualities. If you could speak good, you could prophesy good. Imagine if you are going to do what I say to do.
Right.
That's how the Lord picks his people. Or are you going to do what I said to do?
Right.
It don't matter what you look like. It don't matter how tall you are, how strong you are, how good the words come out your mouth. Or are you going to follow my direction and I will put you in charge?
That's right.
And that's why he's the word of God. Because he followed orders to a T.
Right.
So much so, the Lord say something, he did it. He my mouthpiece. Whatever I say he going to do it.
That's right.
And that's the same thing with Moses and with Joshua and Gideon and David. And the reason why the Lord took his spirit off of Saul. He took his spirit off of Saul because Saul disobeyed him. And to be honest with you, Moses, he didn't even make it to the promised land because he disobeyed one order the Lord said.
That's right.
Saul disobeyed one order. You got to be able to do what the Lord say. And the Lord choose you to fight, you better be willing to listen to what the Lord got to say. And that's what it means to trust in the Lord.
That's right.
You already have no numbers. You seen him. He seen you. Bring him out. He brung you out the dust. Let's do what he say. Don't even question it. All right, where we at?
Verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
For the victory of the battle standeth not in the multitude of an host.
For the victory of the battle standeth not in the multitude of an army. Right? Keep going.
But strength cometh from heaven.
But our strength coming from heaven. Let me tell you something, black man, Hispanic man, Native American man. We might not have no seat. What's that? What is that? What is that? The UN?
Right.
We might not have no seat. We might have nobody to represent us. We might not have our own flag. We might not have our own dollar, our own currency, or our own army to fight for us. But our power comes from heaven.
That's right.
Our strength comes from heaven. And he could be all those things for us. That's what the Lord is for us. We don't need none of that. Because if we did, it would be unfair. If we did, they would never have a shot.
Right.
Having the Lord on our side is already too much. Already. You don't need that. You so much waiting for the day to get those things when those things are vain.
Right.
Those things don't give you strength. Those things made by man's hands don't give you strength. Dollars and money don't give you strength. Your armies don't give you strength.
That's right.
Let me tell you something. No, I know, because we got out of Egypt with no army. We got out of Egypt. We had nobody to represent us. All we had was God. And that's what you got to do right now. You got to turn your way. You got to turn into God, your strength, your power. And forget about an army. You're gonna watch the tornadoes come and kill your oppressors. You're gonna watch the hurricanes come and swallow them up. The earthquakes, the tsunamis. You're going to see your oppressors fall.
That's right.
And then you're going to know that God done did it.
Right.
All right?
Damn right, man.
All right. All right, that's good on that. We could jump up.
Hi, Mommy.
Got a couple precepts.
Hi, Mommy. I eat it.
Let's go to Matthew chapter 20, verse 16. Or, yeah.
What's that?
Matthew chapter 20, verse 16.
All
right. Oh, let's go to Luke. I'm just going to read Luke chapter 13. It has everything in there.
All right. Luke 13?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Which start one?
24.
All right. This is the book of Luke, chapter 13, verse 24. Strive to enter in at the straight gate. For many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in and shall not be able.
You should be striving to get into the straight gate. But many will seek to go in, right? But will not be able to. You will not be able to go. A lot of people will not be able to go into the straight gate because they can't. It was always gonna be something that's a stumbling block.
Right.
You're gonna come into the truth, change your life. There's gonna be one thing that you just don't agree with that made you can't change your life.
That's right.
One thing you can't agree that God placed that made you can't change your life, and that's why the Lord don't put His Spirit upon you.
That's right.
One thing made that one order Moses disobeyed, made him not reach the promised land.
Right.
And he was Moses. That one thing made the Lord take that spirit away from Saul. And that was a king. Who are you today? Who are you today? Already asking the Lord for mercy. But you can't even change that one thing that God told you to change for the better of your life.
That's right.
The betterment of your life. And you don't want to change. You don't want to change that, right? Keep reading.
Verse 25. When once the master of the house is risen.
Let's go to 26. Jump down to 26.
Verse 26. Then shall ye begin to say, we have eaten and drunk in thy presence, and thou hast taught in our streets.
Right.
But he shall say, I tell you, I know you not. Whence ye are. Depart from me, all ye workers of iniquity.
That's what Christ is gonna say on the day of the Lord, man. The ones who never entered the straight gate because they couldn't change their life, and the ones he's gonna tell them, which are the many, he's going to be like, depart from me. I never knew you. Right. You workers of iniquity, you workers of sin. But the few that will endure to the end, Lord allow will receive that kingdom of heaven.
That's right.
He read the few. Why? Because the Lord is only with the few. The Lord has always been with the few. Because only a few amount of people are willing to sacrifice their life, to sacrifice all the things they had to go serve the Lord. Today, only a few people are willing to sacrifice everything the Lord gave them to serve the power that gave it to him.
That's right.
Can you read it?
Verse 27. But he shall say, verse 28, there shall be a weeping and gnashing of teeth when ye shall see Abraham.
Right. Jump down to 30.
Verse 30. Mm-hmm. And behold, there are last which shall be first, and there are first which shall be last.
The people who was exalted above in this place, people of all people, the T.D. Jakes, the Kirk Franklin, all the other anybody you see has a good life, the celebrities, the athletes, the people who just don't want to serve God because their life here is so much better.
That's right.
The people that was like the man Mattathias killed, the people who made a covenant with the heathen, those who are first will be last. They're going to be last in the kingdom of heaven. They're going to be the bottom. Why? Because the few, the least, is going to be great.
That's right.
And that's why we should be fighting for it. We shouldn't be fighting for how many numbers, how many people are willing to serve God. Why? Because we're not fighting for this world. We are fighting for the world to come. Now, let me see. That's my last precept. Yeah. Okay, let's go to 1 Corinthians 1:27.
Oh, which one was that?
1 Corinthians chapter 1 and 27.
1:27.
Oh yeah,
all right.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
But God hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise.
Mm.
And God hath chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty.
Man, that's how God works, man. The weak thing. We was all weak at a time. Without God, we was weak, man. And God chose us. Same people Christ came for, the weak. The people nobody desired. The people that nobody gave a second chance. The people without hope. That's who he came. And we as the weak, we confound the things that which are mighty.
That's right.
We confound. You got all types of people come over here from different walks of life, come and try to cut what we saying. Say what we ain't is right. And we confound all of them.
Right, that's right.
Why? Because we is in the spirit of the Lord. Lord chose us to confound the mighty, confound America, confound all the doers of America, all the workers of America. We come and confound them. And we was weak. We was weak. And now we have the Lord.
Right.
Verse 28, sir, if you could.
Verse 28. And base things of the world and things which are despised.
Which God. Are Shalaki, with it despised. Who is despised throughout the whole entire earth?
That's right.
Black, Hispanics, Native Americans. He chose the things that were despised. To do what?
Hath God chosen, yea, and things which are not, to bring to naught things that are.
Right. Keep going.
Verse 29. that no flesh should glorify in his presence.
That's why. The Most High chooses the weak, chooses us, because for we won't be able to glorify in our presence. For we could identify the Lord done changed us. A lot of great men come up in here. We come up in here and we came from nothing. We was weak. We didn't have nothing. But the Lord came. The Lord chose us. And we glorify the Lord for that.
Right.
We never glorify ourselves. We glorify the Lord for making us something out of nothing. For choosing the people that was least desired in the world. The people that nobody would have cared about if they would have died. Nobody cared about. The people that the only thing they had to their name was just serving the Lord. That's the people the Lord chose. And for that reason, we identify without the Lord never put that spirit upon us. We'd have been in the world today, nothing in a week. We'd have been nothing without the Lord.
That's right.
And that's why we glorify him. The same reason why the Lord Gideon only had 300 men, to make sure that they was nothing without the Lord.
Right, that's right.
There was only 300 men with the Lord. And how he had David. If the Lord never put his spirit on David, they would have had nothing without the Lord. That's what happened. Judas Maccabees, they had the Lord. They knew that their power never came from the armies. For how much numbers you have, but it doesn't matter if you have a few. God is going to be with you. And that's what we got to understand. We have to understand that to this day. You can have nothing to your name, and all you got to do is serve the Lord, and the Lord will make you great. The Lord will make you great. In this fight, now you should identify that you thought this fight that Black Hispanics and Native Americans was losing. This fight we had, you should be scared.
Right.
If you are oppressive and you are oppressing Black Hispanic Native Americans, after this you should be terrified.
That's right.
You've been thinking you've been getting away with it because we don't have numbers. We don't have our own military. We don't have nobody representing us. We don't have our own flag, our own currency. But that, if anything, that just means that God is closer for being with us.
That's right.
That's what that means. That just shows so much. That shows how much more that God should help us because we have nothing. Because we are least desired. And we are the weak. We are the weak. And he showed that he's going to choose us to confound America. That's it.
That's right.
That's it. And that's, yep. All right. We got any questions online? Any questions? You got anything you want to say, sir?
Oh, no, you good. You good. Great class.
At the water. Oh, I'm gonna you got the security announcements?
1 second. I don't have it on my phone.
You want me to read it? I have it.
Yeah.
Unless
you want to send it real quick?
I'll send it to you real quick.
Okay.
Let me get it off this real quick. Read these security announcements. I'm saying, you got it? Let me see. Let's see. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. This is the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister.
Mm-hmm.
When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations.
Upcoming holy convocations. Here, the Feast of First Fruits starts after the Sabbath. Unleavened bread, sundown. Saturday, April 23rd, 2022. Count 50 days. Celebrate the 50th day. Sunday, June 12th. Start before sundown. You can find this in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 10 to 22.
All right. Read the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. Boot, shirt, pant, headband, or scarf. This is the ISUPK security announcements. Passing the class back over to Officer Jediah.
We're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers and the sisters. Stand. Ma'am Shabbat, Majum, Barak. All right. This is stand. All right. Majum Shabbat, Majum, Barak, Yahweh Shema Taba Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shema Taba Hashem Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Matab. All right, dismissed.
All right.